The HAL Light Combat Helicopter is a multi-role combat helicopter being developed in India by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for use by the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army. Development, origins, combat in Kargil highlighted the requirement of an attack helicopter specially made for such high-altitude operations. In 2006, HAL announced its plans to design and build the LCH. Funds for designing and developing the LCH to meet the requirements of the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force were sanctioned in October 2006. The LCH is a derivative of the HAL DHIUV, which was inducted into the Indian Armed Forces. Basing on an existing helicopter is expected to greatly reduce LCH project costs, which is estimated at $3.76 billion. The Indian Air Force is to acquire 65 LCHs and Indian Army is to acquire 114 LCHs. The LCH was expected to be ready for the initial operational clearance by December 2010 with the final operational clearance in 2011. However, the revised timeframes for LCH should be ready for induction into IAF by 2012 or 2013. Testing. The first prototype of LCH completed its first ground run on February 4, 2010. HAL has a firm order to deliver 65 LCH to the IAF and 114 to the Army. HAL has performed the maiden flight of its LCH on March 29, 2010. The first LCH technology demonstrator flew a 20-minute flight from HAL's helicopter complex, Bangalore. It carried out low-speed, low-altitude checks on the systems on board. The crew reported that the performance of the helicopter and systems was satisfactory. The third test flight of the LCH was successfully made on May 23, 2010. It fulfilled the desired parameters and allowed for further arm tests to proceed. The second prototype, fitted with weaponry, was unveiled at Aero India 2011 in February 2011. The second LCH prototype featured substantial weight reductions over the earlier TD-1. Ashok Nayak, chairman of HAL, stated that the project has exceeded human and payload requirements mandated by IAF for the development. Light Combat Helicopter TD-2 achieved its first flight on June 28, 2011. Two more prototypes are under construction to speed up its induction into the Indian Air Force in 2012. On July 1, 2012, the LCH began a series of trials near Chennai. Amongst other elements, the LCH's airspeed measurement system will be trialed and various component stresses gauged measured. The third prototype of the LCH is about to be delivered and is expected to be different from the LCH-1 and LCH-2. The third prototype is said to be significantly lighter than its predecessors. The LCH second prototype, TD-2, completed sea-level trials conducted in late June to early July 2012. The trials covered helicopter performance, loads measurement, and handling qualities. Design overview: the LCH is being designed to fit into an anti-infantry and anti-armor role and will be able to operate at high altitudes. It has a maximum weight of 5.5 tons, and has a service ceiling of 6,500 meters. The LCH design features a narrow fuselage with stealth profiling, armor protection, and will be equipped to conduct day and night combat operations. According to reports, the LCH features a digital camouflage system. The LCH has a two-crew cockpit. The helicopter will be equipped with helmet-mounted targeting systems, electronic warfare systems and advanced weapons systems. Dr. Prasad Sampath, General Manager of HAL's Rotary Wing Research and Design Center, told the press during Aero India 2011 that the LCH was probably the most agile design in the world because of its rotor. Like the DHIUV, it is powered by the HAL Turbo-Mecha Shakti turboshaft engine. In 2006, HAL selected the M621 cannon incorporated in a Nexter THL-20 turret for the gun armament of the helicopter, operated by a helmet-mounted sight. Cockpit and avionics. The LCH is to have a glass cockpit with multifunction displays, a target acquisition and designation system with FLIR, laser rangefinder and laser designator. Weapons will be aimed with a helmet-mounted sight and there will be an electronic warfare suite with radar warning receiver, laser warning receiver and a missile approach warning system. The two pilots in the LCH sit one behind the other, compared to side-by-side in the DHIUV. All the flight controls, the hydraulics and the fuel system had to be redesigned for the LCH. The LCH's modern sensor suite, developed in cooperation with Israel, consists of a CCD camera, forward-looking infrared imaging sensors and a laser rangefinder to facilitate target acquisition in all weather conditions, including at night. The EW suite has been procured from Saab, South Africa. The helicopter is to be fitted with a data link for network-centric operations facilitating the transfer of mission data to the other airborne platforms and ground stations operating in the network, facilitating force multiplication. Roles: LCH is intended for use in air defense against slow-moving aerial targets, counter-surface force operation, destruction of enemy air defense operations, escort to special heliborne operations, counter-insurgency operations, offensive employment in urban warfare, support of combat search and rescue operations, anti-tank role and scout duties. It will also be capable of high-altitude warfare since its operational ceiling will be 6,000 to 6,500 meters. Operators: India, Indian Air Force, 65 light combat helicopters on order, Indian Army, 114 LCHs on order, Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka Air Force, 20 LCHs on order, specifications, data from Global Security, general characteristics, crew, 2, length, 15.8 meters, rotor diameter, 13.3 m, height, 4.7 m, disk area, 138.9 mass squared, max takeoff weight, 5,800 kilograms, power plant, 2 HAL Turbo Mika Shakti turbo shaft, 1,067 kilowatts each, performance, never exceed speed, 330 kilometers per hour, maximum speed, 268 km per hour, range, 700 km, service ceiling, 6,500 m, disk loading, 39.59 kg mass squared, power mass, 327 watts per kilogram, armament, guns, 1 20 mm M621 cannon on Nexter THL-20 turret, hardpoints, 4A and provisions to carry combinations of rockets 4x70 80mm rocket pods, missiles, 4x2 round MBDA Mistral air-to-air missiles, anti-radiation, and 2x4 round Helena, LAH-80 anti-tank missiles, bombs, 4x 250 kg bombs including gravity bombs, cluster bombs and grenade launchers. See also: related development, HAL DHIUV HAL Rudra, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Bell AH-1 Super Cobra, Boeing AH-64 Apache, Augusta A-129 Mangusta, Eurocopter Tiger, TAI Agusta T-129, related lists, list of helicopters, references. External links, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Future Products.